Hello everyone, thanks for joining us here on Horizon. Well, it's been called the digital divide, the chasm that's developed between rural and urban America when it comes to internet service. More importantly, broadband, a technology that is as essential as water or electricity to an area's infrastructure. With broadband service, a community is connected to a world of opportunities in everything from commerce to education. And without it, well, with more, here's our Andy Barth.
Well, Rob, having internet nowadays is like having running water. Everyone has it, or at least some version of it. Rural Oklahomans have put up with slow internet speeds for quite some time, but thanks to federal grants, communities in northeast Oklahoma are moving up in the digital age.
We use it every day on our computers, phones, and devices. The digital world connects us to the globe, yet those outside the city limits are often left unable to connect.
Rural America completely has been left behind, and we're hoping to to make that change.
Sheila Allgood is the technology manager at Northeast Oklahoma Electric Co-op and says people want better broadband.
We have had a survey at the Electric Co-op's annual meeting that asked what is something that we could do for a service to provide to our membership. And 100% of the time it's please bring us broadband.
And so an $80 million broadband deployment project started around the Grand Lake area, a project that Allgood says will help boost the economy.
We have a diverse economy. We have the lake area, which is pretty robust in the economic sense. And then we have areas that are just poverty-stricken. And so that is the reason that we're doing this, is to hopefully bring in some jobs and create some excitement in these rural areas.
Keith Adams is with the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Rural Development and says the USDA can help bring that excitement to reality.
We in the Rural Utility Service see ourselves as being a champion for rural America where broadband is concerned. We know that in rural America there has been a decline in population. We know that the persistent poverty rate amongst children is growing.
A problem that Adams says can be helped by using federal dollars to bring broadband to rural America.
We have a Community Connect program that helps bring broadband to areas that would normally not have it, free internet for 2 years. That's something that the community can have after this program is over with. So we see broadband as being a tool that can level the playing field.
We invest more than $700 million through USDA Rural Development just right here in Oklahoma, addressing a wide range of infrastructure and quality of life issues that rural Oklahomans face. And frankly, without the type of partnership we see through USDA Rural Development, a lot of those quality of life and infrastructure needs just wouldn't be met.
Ryan McMullen is the state director for USDA Rural Development and says the link between poverty and the lack of technology isn't only found in rural areas.
There's a lot of similarities between what we face in rural America and what you see in some inner city communities, and certainly folks don't always appreciate the type of poverty that we face in rural America, but folks are familiar with the poverty often that you see in inner city America, and so that lack of income and that lack of access to technology is frankly what helps perpetuate those cycles of persistent poverty.
And Allgood says people in rural northeast Oklahoma look forward to life in the digital age.
People are so excited about it. They're wanting their neighbors to sign up. They're wanting their friends, and they're talking about it everywhere. So it's been a great community support.
And since the co-op is completely local, Allgood says users receive a high level of customer service.
We're local. You see us in Walmart. You can complain if your broadband's not what you expect. You know where to call. When they call in, they're going to get a local person that they're going to visit with. So I think the trust and the local sense is what's positive.
Offering connection to the digital age to more Oklahomans.
Well, now the project will take place over the next several years and is expected to be completed by the middle of 2016. Customers can reserve their spot on the network for a $100 fee.
Now, when we return, we'll explain why it's taking so long to get rural America out of the internet slow lane.